One of the issues we were discussing is this new program, which we launched only in August. The program where the United States is again delivering essential, lethal and non-lethal military support to Ukraine, paid for by allies, already 2 billion committed. And I have every reason to assume today that many other countries will sign up. This is crucial stuff, including air defense systems and particularly interceptors, important for Ukraine to make sure that their civilian population, their crucial infrastructure is as much protected as possible against the continuous Russian onslaught. So I assure you that the EU and NATO are really working very well together. There is no doubling at all. Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the European Commission, myself, the relevant commissioners, including Kubilius and of course Kaja Kallas and the others, we are all making sure that we make use of the strengths of the two organizations. And NATO is good at the hard stuff, which is the standard setting, the capabilities, the military side. And the EU has the enormous soft power of the internal market, the enormous soft power of making sure the money is there, making sure that the nations in the EU are aligned. And this combination is crucial to work together. It's one of the things the Russians try to divide. They are not successful. We are working very well together. I'm really positive. Of course, part of my task as Secretary General, and this has been the case for my predecessor, for me, is to make sure we keep the support for Ukraine as strong as possible. And I'm really proud that as a collective alliance, we are able to do that, to make sure that Ukraine stays in the fight as strong as possible.
There is support that has dropped.
I was thinking of the guy behind you, but you can also ask a question.
Okay, thank you.
There have been many questions about whether NATO is capable or not to make sure that if something happens in our airspace, we can act decisively if necessary. And we can. I can really assure you. The problem is this, that some are saying, not inside NATO, but sometimes in the public debate, that if a plane, a Russian plane, be it intentional or not, enters NATO airspace, that anyway you have to take it down. And I don't agree. I think you have to make sure that you are absolutely convinced whether yes or no it is posing a threat. If it is posing a threat, we can do everything needed to make sure the threat will not materialize. But if it is not posing a threat, a strong alliance, and NATO is so much stronger than Russia, we are infinitely more capable. Then, of course, our role is to make sure that that plane drifted outside of its airspace into NATO airspace will gently be guided outside our airspace and then make clear to the Russians, stop doing this. It was a question from...
Secretary General, is there a need to make any NATO-level decision on...
The Russians thought probably when they started this war, first they thought they would win it in 3 weeks. Now we are in year 4. They have lost 1 million people, dead or seriously wounded. Only gained this year very incremental successes, very small size of Ukrainian territory. Again, 1 million people lost or seriously wounded, and the support for Ukraine last year, this year, continues to flow, lethal and non-lethal. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later today.
I can announce the UK will extend our commitment to NATO's Eastern Sentry mission, which means British jets will continue to fly over Poland until the end of the year. And we are also ramping up our drone production for Ukraine, delivering over 100,000 drones this year, and jointly building new, improved interceptor drones with Ukraine. Putin seeks to test, to divide, to distract. NATO nations step up to deter, to unite, stronger together than ever.
Goedemorgen.
Hi. Our support to Ukraine, more important than ever. We see almost on a daily basis heavy air attacks on the energy infrastructure in Ukraine. Ukrainians told me last weekend that the upcoming winter is going to be the heaviest one so far. And I think we need to make sure that we keep a continuous flow of support to Ukraine. The Netherlands is doing more than ever. A few days ago I announced 200 million in counter-UAS support. Today I announced another 90 million support package for drones, both ISR drones and attack drones, because we do see that Ukraine, the industry of Ukraine still has the capacity to produce more, and that's why we invest another 90 million in order to do that. I think what's as important is that we change the underlying dynamic because Putin now feels that he gains with every day of continuing the Russian aggression in Ukraine, and we need to make sure that the costs for Putin go up.
Unfortunately, we see some decrease of the military assistance, so this is why we decided, additionally to that, what we have already done, that we are sending also this week a lot of drones worth of tens of millions. We decided to join the Baltic-Nordic pool package. So we know that 4 packages have been agreed already, so the next package will be Nordic-Baltic, and we are very close to have the package fully committed. So this is a good news. Our contribution will be $12 million US.
Good morning.
Of course, we are emphasizing the solidarity that everyone in Europe has to take a fair share of the burden what comes from the Ukraine support, the US part and of course the European part. And now everyone has to find the money because this is a crucial moment. And the message is clear from the United States that the United States is providing these arms, but Europeans have to pay the Ukraine support overall sums.
This is critical now because we've been seeing the wrong trajectory when it comes to support to Ukraine, that it's been going down. We want to see more stepping up to enhance and increase the financial support and military donations to Ukraine.
Good morning.
Good morning, Secretary.